3 months ago, we posted our first YouTube video, and the response has been overwhelming to say the least. Over 250,000 of you have watched one of our videos. We've gotten over 28,000 hours of watch time. That's 3 years. I never imagined someone was going to listen to me yap like that.
And we've responded to over 2,000 comments.
Where you've shared your thoughts, your worries, your questions, your concerns, your perspectives. It's been so wonderful to be able to participate and form a community like this.
Today, we thought we would share some of those themes, some of the things we've learned along the way with you.
But first, if we could ask you to please comment, like, and subscribe to our page and to our channel. We really appreciate all the engagement that you have provided us over these last 3 months and look forward to continuing to bring you good content and good community as you explore the potential for a new life in Albania. Okay, let's get started. The first theme that I think that we notice is the size of the wave. Look, there is a massive exodus that is happening from the United States, and it doesn't seem to be well reflected in any sort of statistics or official numbers that we can find anywhere. I read something recently that said there were 1,025 households that had left the US this year, and that was up 100% over the previous year. Look, I can tell you of 200 people that have come to Albania this year alone. I don't think these numbers are reflective of the real trend that's happening.
They can't be. We're getting so much engagement, but not only are we getting engagement with people who say they're moving, like we're actually meeting them. We are meeting multiple people a week now who have arrived from the US that have watched our videos or some number of them and said like, okay, I'm going to Albania.
I think one of the cool things about being out there and accessible is that we tend to be kind of a front door for people that are arriving here in Albania. We're a source that folks can reach out to when they have questions or look to for information on how to do things from get cash out of an ATM to sign up for a cell phone plan to find an apartment.
We have had a huge number of people reach out to us and frankly say like, please help me. I'll pay you. I need someone there. And that was interesting for us because that wasn't necessarily our goal. When we started this, our goal was to just share our story. But it has been very cool to start the Smile Abroad Club, to have, over 20 members now in really less than a month. Many of whom are very actively engaged and actively moving to Albania within the next 60 to 90 days.
Albania is attracting Americans at a rapid pace. And a lot of them are coming here without a real plan or understanding of what they need to do. And so we found that our content is really filling a gap there that needs to be filled for these folks that want to make a new life here but don't really know where to start. That takes us to the second theme we've been picking up on, which is that people are really scared about what's going on in the US right now.
Yeah, I mean, we see people that are literally picking up and moving before they have even a money plan worked out long term.
I think the most fascinating thing that we have found is that it's people from all over this United States, all over the income spectrum.
I mean, it's really like a very, very broad group of people. There are always stereotypes like the opposite political party is leaving or whatever the case is, but that's really not been the reality that we've seen on the ground. We literally encounter people from every income class, every social class, every political kind of alignment. Like people are just leaving. They're tired of the US and they're saying like, yeah, there are some unknowns, but I'd rather go navigate those unknowns than continue in the uncertainty that they're living in the US right now.
I think Albania offers a really attractive option because of the 12-month visa-free stay, and also because of the fact that you can figure things out and apply for residency as you go. What we see a lot of folks doing is coming here, prioritizing speed, figuring out if they like it or not, and if they do, deciding to stay and get permanent residency.
I mean, that's really what we did. We thought we wanted to stay here long term, but one of the advantages that we found was we could stay for 12 months. There was very little obligation. You just show up, go through an e-gate, and you're in the country and you have the ability to stay here. It's really shocking to me the number of people that are following the same path now in a little more than a year since we did it.
What I notice about this moment in time is that it seems a lot of people are moving from analysis paralysis, watching YouTube videos, dreaming of a life abroad, fantasizing, to action mode. And when you go into action mode, you see what a competitive advantage Albania has to a lot of these other countries because of your ability to execute quickly. People that want to move can move now and plan later. And while that can be concerning sometimes, especially when you don't have a fully ironed out plan for a lot of what you're going to do to sustain yourself, it really is the path that a lot of people are taking.
We see a lot of really entrepreneurial minded people who have built a business, or they're doing some creative method, like a non-traditional method to make money. This is a really advantageous place for people like that, for people who are willing to push themselves into the unknown a little bit and say, I'm going to figure it out. Because there is a monumental amount of opportunity in Albania. And the people who show up with the right mindset, with the mindset that they're going to contribute some way, that they're going to build something, that they're going to make something better, those are the people that are doing really well when they land here.
The people that aren't doing as well are folks that don't have a good plan of how to sustain themselves when they arrive. And that brings us to the third theme that we pick up on regularly through our channel and through the comments, which is that money and work are the main barriers preventing people from leaving if they want to.
Yeah, we encounter people every day in comments that are asking about getting a job in Albania or finding remote work when they get to Albania. The biggest advice that I can give you is make a money plan first. When you're still in the US, when you're still in your home country, that, in my opinion, is your number one priority. You need to figure out how to sustain yourself, how to make a viable living, or at least have a plan for that, and have savings, more savings than you think that you need, unless you're retired, of course, before you move. The hardest thing that you are going to encounter, especially when you move to a country like Albania, is figuring out work. Wages are very low here. You are not going to be a competitive labor hire if you don't speak the local language. Your advantage is to bring your income, bring an income from a Western country into Albania. And that's really going to set you apart. That's really how you succeed and you contribute here.
There is a lot to living here that feels a bit like geographic arbitrage, especially if you have a Western income, a remote job, or are self-employed, or are retired. The cost of living here is significantly lower, so you're able to live a lifestyle and stretch that money in a way that you would not be able to do in the US.
But this is not a incredibly cheap country. There are costs to living here. Yes, you can live here for under a couple €1,000 a month for sure. But I don't think this is a wise move for someone that has a few $100s a month to get by on, unless you really have a very solid plan.
Look, we understand how distressing it can be to feel trapped in the US, especially when you don't feel like you have any options. Albania is a good and attractive option, but you need to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for failure by leaving impulsively and not having a plan. People need to reimagine their lives and reimagine their relationships to money. Albania is a good place to do that, especially with their residency by investment and entrepreneurship schemes.
I think this is something we've really had to go through in the last year. I mean, we went from corporate salaried employees to entrepreneurs again. We have started consulting and building an export business for honey and olive oil and doing other things to generate an income in an unconventional way. It's been very rewarding to us, but it's also a whole lot of work. And you need to keep that in mind. I think a lot of people, you want to move to a country with a slower pace of life. You want to slow down. You want to make these big life changes, and you absolutely can do that. We have done that. But keep in mind, there is a lot of thought and work and planning that you are going to have to kind of endure as you forge a new life in a new country.
That's a great point, and it brings us to the fourth theme that we regularly see amongst the commenters on our videos, and that's that you want a better way of life, and you need information in order to make that a reality. But you also really want to hear stories of folks that have made it happen. Not just information, but the journeys and life stories of people that have made it work. Our best performing videos have been interviews. They've not been me talking about how to do this or that. They've been one-on-one sit-down conversations with other Americans that have come to Albania and made it work. And I've really enjoyed and appreciated the opportunity to bring you those perspectives. Even when I might not fully agree with them, I think it's important to bring an unvarnished take on what it's actually like here.
Yeah, I've really, really enjoyed this, and this is something we're definitely going to keep doing. I think it is very clear to us in every interaction that we have. I mean, you all are obviously very grateful for the work that we're doing, and we very much appreciate that. But you have shared with us how important these interviews are, how much they resonate with you, and that's something we are very committed to continuing in our journey to bring you the information that you need to make a move like this happen.
If you've moved to Albania, if you've recently arrived and you want to connect or you want to share your story here on our channel, please do reach out. We'd love to do these interviews. And if we need you to help be a part of sharing what Albania has done for you with the world. Do you have a favorite moment from an interview?
Favorite moment from an interview? Yeah, I think my favorite moment from an interview is Carolyn sharing her story about moving to Albania during COVID and then going back to the US, spending, I think, 8 months in the US, not making one friend, and then realizing that Albania was her home. Um, we encounter a lot of people like this, a lot of people who they just keep being drawn back into this country in such a cool way. And I think her story very specifically tells that. It shares that journey with other people.
Absolutely. The fifth theme that we want to share with you is urgency. The time to move is now.
Yeah, we see all over the world visa programs tightening up. We see restrictions coming into place with your ability to travel just on your US passport without additional paperwork, without additional strings. As Albania moves towards the EU, their laws will at some point change to be aligned with the EU. And it's very likely that that 1 year visa-free stay will go away. Look, Albania may not be the right place for you, but you're not going to know that until you try it. Don't let the stereotypes about this country dissuade you. I think it is definitely worth checking out. Don't believe everything that Hollywood has to say.
And similarly, things don't seem like they're getting much better in the United States right now. I mean, it's been more than a year since I've been there, but from what I understand, it just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. And at some point, you have to realize that you don't need to be spending your energy watching cable news for hours a day or trying to keep up with the latest ICE raids or the latest government shutdown news. You can live a simpler life and a better, more peaceful life. And honestly, the sooner the better.
I think a message that I would really like to convey, one of the things that I see many of our friends and personal acquaintances go through is their fear of change. They already have a money plan. They have a business that they conduct on the internet or something like that, and they're still hesitant to make the change, even though they're stated kind of living miserably in the US right now. Look, try it. Rent your house if you have a house that you're afraid of selling. Put your house up for rent, go to Albania for a few months, continue to do your business, and see if you enjoy life more. If you don't, you can go back home. Don't wait forever. If this is something that actually means something to you, if this is a goal that you want to achieve, then just do it. Make the plan to have an income and just come here. And if it works, great. If you like it, great. If you don't, you can go home. But you're never going to know until you try. And you may very well find out that life is a whole lot simpler here.
Absolutely. And if you need help making that journey or making that plan, or you don't know where to start, you can reach out to us. Sam and I and our company Smile Abroad help provide services to people that are looking to move to Albania at any stage in their journey, from getting a residency permit to selling all of their stuff at an estate sale, to support once they land here. We really try to do all that we can to make it easy for you if you're ready to make that leap.
We offer one-on-one consulting now. We built the Smile Abroad Club based on demand from people like you saying, I want a community. I don't want to live in Facebook groups. I want a serious crowd of people that are doing the same thing. We're going to help you however we can. So please, like always, drop your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you need. Let us know how we can help. And please follow our journey. Become a member on YouTube. Become a member of the Smile Abroad Club on our website. Contact Tahir for immigration support. He offers a free 15-minute consultation. Links to all of this will be in the comments below. And thank you so much for your support, for watching, for joining us on our journey. I never imagined that we would have this kind of traction in 90 days.
It's been an incredible 3 months, and we're really looking forward to continuing to bring you stories, interviews, helpful content, and perspectives from life here in Albania. Until next time, have a good one.
Bye-bye.